Hello, my dear students. Hope you are doing well. I am Professor A.G. Sabre, working in Residential Junior College, Ahmednagar, here with a video lecture discussing the chapter which we have already started, that is Business Services. Today, through this video lecture, we are going to start second business service as insurance. Individual's life is full of uncertainties. Various risks like accidental death, premature death, accidental injuries are there in his personal life. In case of business, business property is subjected to loss by fire, theft, natural calamities, etc. It means there is insecurity in individual's life as well as in business sector. Insurance gives financial protection against these unexpected events. It is a device by which loss suffered from various risks to an individual can be minimized. Let us see the definition of insurance. According to Insurance Act 1938, insurance is defined as a provision which a prudent man makes against inevitable contingencies. With the help of the definition, we come to know that insurance is a contract between two parties, that is, the company assuring in the contract to compensate to a person to whom such assurance is given is known as insured. There are some basic terms used in insurance contract. Let us see these basic terms one by one. Number 1. Insured. A person to whom a compensation is to be paid in case of loss is called as the insured. Number 2. Insurer. The company that agrees to pay compensation on the happening of a specific event against the payment of regular premium is called as the insurer. Number 3. Premium. A fixed amount to be paid to the insured by the insured is called as premium. Number 4. Policy. The statement of contract between the insured and insurer. It contains the terms and conditions of the insurance contract. Number 5. Claim. It is the demand made by the insured on the insurer to compensate for loss on the happening of the event. Number 6. Proposal. It is a written request by the proposed to the insurance company to issue an insurance policy. Number 7. Subject matter. It refers to the subject or entity, that is life, property, cargo, etc., which is insured against which the policy is taken. Now, let us discuss the principles of insurance. First principle, principle of utmost good faith. All types of insurance contracts requires utmost good faith towards each other. The insurer and the insured must disclose all material facts clearly, correctly and completely while entering into the insurance contract. Both the parties of contract, that is the insurer and the insured, must disclose all relative information to each other. That means the insured must disclose his health history while taking life insurance, and the insurer must disclose all the terms and conditions regarding the contract. For example, Mr. A has not provided information regarding his heart surgery at the time of taking policy. After his death, the insurance company comes to know about this fact. As Mr. A has not provided correct and complete information at the time of taking policy, insurance company can refuse to pay compensation to his family members. Number 2. Principle of insurable interest. Insurable interest means some financial interest in the subject matter. The insured must have insurable interest in the subject matter of insurance. Insurable interest is applicable to all types of insurance contracts. That means, while taking insurance, one should have insurable interest with that thing for which he is going to take insurance. For example, Mr. A purchased a new car. He can have insurable interest in his car, so he insured his car. Mr. B, who is the best friend of Mr. A, and because of his friendship, Mr. B wants to get insurance of a car which is owned by Mr. A. It is not possible. That means, while taking insurance, the person must have insurable interest in it. Let us see the cases of insurable interest. A person has insurable interest in his own life and his property. B. A businessman have insurable interest in the goods he deals and in the business property. C. A partner have insurable interest in the life of other partner. Third principle, principle of indemnity. Indemnity means a guarantee given to the insured in same financial position in which he was immediately prior to the happening of the uncertain event. This principle is applicable to fire, marine and general insurance and not applicable to life insurance. Remember students, the principle of indemnity is not applicable to life insurance because the life of a human being cannot be calculated in monetary terms. In case of death of the insured, the sum assured is paid to the nominee of the insured. Compensation is paid in proportion to the losses incurred. The amount of compensation is limited to the amount assured or the actual loss, whichever is less. For example, if a person has insured his property for rupees 3 lakhs and it is destroyed by fire and actual loss is worth rupees 2 lakhs, then he will be paid the actual loss of rupees 2 lakhs. Number 4. Principle of subrogation. This principle is applicable to all contracts of indemnity. As per this principle, after the insured is compensated for the loss due to damage of property insured, then the right of ownership of such property passes on to the insurer. This principle is applicable only when the damaged property has any value after the event causing the damage. For example, Mr. A's two-wheeler is stolen. He filed a police complaint. After receiving police report, the insurance company gives full compensation to Mr. A for the loss of vehicle. Later on, the police recovered the stolen vehicle. In this situation, the insured gets full benefit of insurance contract, so the ownership transfer to the insurer, that is insurance company. Number 5th, principle of contribution. This principle is applicable to all contracts of indemnity where the insured has taken out more than one policy for the same risk or subject matter. Under this principle, the insured can claim the compensation only to the extent of actual loss either from one insurer or all the insurers. If the one insurer pays full compensation, then that insurer can claim proportionate amount from other insurers from whom insured has taken policy. For example, Mr. Raj insured his house worth rupees 60 lakhs with 3 insurance companies. With A Company Limited rupees 10 lakhs, B Company Limited rupees 20 lakhs and with C Company Limited rupees 30 lakhs. At the time of loss incurred, the compensation will be paid by insurance companies in the ratio of 1:2:3. Next principle, number 6, principle of mitigation of loss. Under this principle, insured must always try his level best to minimize the loss of his insured property in case of uncertain events like fire outbreak, blast, etc. The insured must take all possible measures and necessary steps to control and reduce the losses. For example, Mr. A's house is on fire due to an electric short circuit. In this tragic incident, Mr. A must try his level best to stop the fire by calling fire brigade, using anti-fire measures, etc. He must not remain inactive and watch his house burn only because it is insured. Next principle, number 7, principle of causa proxima, that is nearest cause. Principle of causa proxima means when a loss is caused by more than one causes, then proximate cause of loss should be taken into consideration to decide the liability of the insurer. The property is insured against some causes and not against all causes. In such a case, the proximate cause of loss is to be found. If the proximate cause is one which is insured against, the insurance company is bound to pay compensation and vice versa. For example, a house was insured against the risk of theft. There was a theft in the house, and before leaving the house was set on fire by thieves. Now, there are two causes of loss, theft and fire, and the nearest cause of loss was fire. As the house was insured against theft and not by fire, the insured will not get any compensation from insurance company for loss by fire, but he will get the compensation for the property lost by theft. These all are the principles of insurance applicable in insurance contract. Now, let us discuss different types of insurance. Number 1, life insurance. Life insurance can be defined as a contract where an insurance company undertakes, in consideration of regular payment of premium, to pay certain sum of money to the assured on maturity of policy or death, whichever is earlier. There are different types of life insurance policies like whole life policy, endowment insurance policy, term insurance policy, annuity policy, money back policy, child insurance, retirement plans, ULIP plans, etc. One can choose any type of policy as per his requirement and gets life insured. Number 2, marine insurance. According to Marine Insurance Act 1963, an agreement whereby the insurer undertakes to indemnify the assured in a manner and to the extent thereby agreed against losses incidental to marine adventure. It may cover loss or damage to vessel, cargo or freight. That means marine insurance gives protection against losses caused due to the dangers of the sea. Marine insurance is very useful for foreign trade, that is for exporters and importers. Next, number 3, fire insurance. According to Indian Fire Insurance Act 1938, in addition to other insurances, fire insurance is that insurance contract which takes place against fire and such other risks which are mentioned in the fire insurance contract. Means the fire insurance protects the insured against the risk of fire. Any property which is subject to damage by the fire can be insured against fire. The loss due to fire, lightning and explosion is also covered by fire insurance. Students, today through this video lecture we learnt the principles of insurance and different types of insurance policies. Herewith we finished our second business service, that is insurance. Hope you understood it very well. Stay home and study from home safely. Thank you.